Hello everyone, welcome back to another chapter of B2B marketing. In the last video, we talked about the people, processes, and proof behind B2B marketing excellence. We also explored how aligning your team, streamlining workflows, and showcasing results can transform your marketing strategy. But here is the thing, even the best strategies won't work unless you truly understand your audience. That's why today we are diving into a crucial topic: business consumers demystified, who they are and what they need. Now, stick with me till the end because the last few points will reveal the secrets to truly connecting with your business consumers, and you will not want to miss them. So, let's start with the basics. Who are business consumers? So, business consumers are not like the typical shoppers you see in B2C or business to consumer marketing. These are professionals, companies, or organizations looking for solutions that help them achieve specific goals. Think about it. When somebody buys a software subscription for their company, they are not buying it for fun. They are looking for ways to improve efficiency, cut costs, or solve a problem. Their decisions are rational, driven by data, and often involve multiple stakeholders. Let's look at the key characteristics of business consumers. First characteristic is that they are goal oriented. Their purchases are tied to specific business objectives. Next is they are risk averse. They need assurance that your product will deliver results. Then they are collaborative. Decisions are often made collectively, involving a buying committee. Then they're well informed. They've likely done their homework before engaging with you. Now, why understanding them matters. So, here's the thing: if you do not understand your audience, how can you craft a message that resonates? So, knowing who your business consumers are and what they need is the foundation of every successful B2B marketing strategy. Let me put it this way: imagine you are trying to sell accounting software. So, if you do not know whether your audience is small businesses or large enterprises, how will you tailor your pitch? So, small businesses might value affordability and ease of use, while enterprises might prioritize scalability and advanced features. Now, see, not all business consumers are the same. To truly connect with them, you need to segment them into smaller, more defined groups. So, how do you do that? So, here is how to segment your audience. First is segmentation on the base of industry. Are they in tech, manufacturing, healthcare, or another sector? Then you can segment them on the basis of company size. Are you targeting startups, small businesses, or large corporations? You can target them on the basis of geography. Are they local, national, or global? Then on the basis of pain points, what challenges are they facing? Is it inefficiency, high cost, or a lack of expertise? Now let's understand this with the help of an example. Let's say you offer project management software. A small design agency might want a simple tool to manage client projects, while a multinational corporation might need advanced features like resource allocation and multi-team collaboration. So it was one of the examples. Now let's try to understand the needs of your potential customer. So once you have segmented your audience, the next step is to understand their needs. And here is a pro tip: their needs go beyond just the product. So let's understand what business consumers really want. First thing they want is solutions to their problems. So they're not buying a product, they're buying a solution. So focus on how your offering can address their pain points. Then they are looking for value for money. Budgets are tight in B2B. So show them how your product delivers ROI. Then they are looking for simplicity. So nobody wants a solution which is hard to implement or use. So highlight how easy it is to get started with your product. Then they are looking for trust as well. Business consumers need assurance that your product works. That's where case studies, testimonials, and demos come in. Now let's look at the decision making process in a B2B setup. So this is where things get a little tricky. In B2B, purchases are not made on a whim. There's a structured decision making process, and understanding it is key to tailoring your approach. So let's look at the typical process. First is identifying a need. The company realizes that there's a problem to solve on or an opportunity to seize. Then they research. They explore potential solution, compare vendors, and gather information. Then comes the process of evaluation. They shortlist options and assess them based on features, cost, and ROI. Then the decision is taken. The buying committee makes the final call. Then comes the implementation part. The chosen solution is rolled out. So this was the buying process, decision making process. So here's a pro tip: be present at every stage of this process. Offer educational content during the research phase, provide case studies during evaluation, and support during implementation. Now, trust is everything in B2B marketing. Remember, these are risk averse buyers who need to justify their decisions to others. So without trust, you will never make it past the evaluation stage. So how do you build trust? First is showcase success stories. Use case studies and testimonials to demonstrate results. Then offer transparency. Be upfront about pricing, capabilities, and limitations. Then provide value before the sale. Share free resources like guides, webinars, or consultations to show you are invested in their success. Now, here's the secret: personalization is not just for B2C. In B2B, personalization can be the difference between winning and losing a deal. So, how do you personalize your approach? First is use their name. Now, address prospects directly in emails or proposals. That helps. Then, tailor your message. Speak to their specific industry or pain points. Then, customize your demos. Show how your product solves their unique challenges. So, when you personalize your approach, you are telling business consumers, we understand you. So, you need to personalize your message. Now, let's look at how to overcome the objections raised by the client. So, no matter how perfect your product is, there will be objections. Now, it's your job to anticipate them and address them head on. So, let's look at some of the common objections and how to address them. First objection is it is too expensive. Now, then you can highlight the ROI and long term value to address this. Second objection is we don't need it right now. So, then you can show how acting now can prevent future problems. The next objection is it's too complicated. Now, then you need to emphasize simplicity and provide a free trial or demo. And this is how you can overcome these objections. Now, all right, here is the part you've been waiting for. Now, these are the insights that can truly transform your understanding of business consumers. These are the insights that can actually make a difference. And we've seen this make a difference in our previous interactions with some of the clients. First is they crave collaboration. Business consumers value partnership, not just transactions. So show them you are in it for the long haul. Then they need proof. So case studies, testimonials, and data driven results are just non negotiable. Then they value efficiency. So time is money. The easier you make the buying and onboarding process, the better it is. Now, did you know that B2B purchase involves 6 to 10 decision makers? Well, that's right. It's not just one person making the call. So, understanding the dynamics of the buying committee is essential. And we will cover this in detail in the next video. For now, just remember each member of the committee has different priorities. The CFO cares about cost, the CTO focuses on technology, and the manager looks at ease of use. So, there you have it. Business consumers demystified who they are and what they need. So, we've covered everything from segmenting your audience to building trust and addressing objections. What's the key takeaway? So, truly understanding your business consumer is the foundation of B2B success. Take some time to reflect on your current approach. Are you speaking directly to your audience needs? Are you building trust with proof? If not, now is the time to start. And guess what? In the next video, we will discuss understanding the roles of B2B buying committee, their roles and influences. So it's a crucial topic that will take your B2B strategy to the next level. So see you there. Hello everyone. Welcome to the new chapter of B2B marketing. In the last video, we demystified business consumers, who they are and what they need. We explored how understanding their needs and decision making process can elevate your B2B marketing strategy. But here's the thing, when it comes to big ticket B2B purchases, it's rarely a one person decision. So today we are digging deeper into an essential topic, decoding the B2B buying committee, roles, and influences. So stick with me until the end because the last few points will reveal strategies that can completely change how you approach decision makers. Trust me, you will not want to miss them. So let's start with the basics. A B2B buying committee is a group of individuals within an organization who collectively decide whether to purchase a product or service. So, unlike in B2C, where one person typically makes the decision, B2B decisions involve multiple stakeholders with different priorities, goals, and concerns. Think of it like a jury. Each person has a voice and every opinion matters. So, to win the deal, you need to convince the entire group or at least the key players within it. Uh, Here's the deal. If you don't know who's involved in the decision making process, your pitch might fall on deaf ears. Understanding the buying committee helps you with various things. Some of the things are number one, tailor your message. Speak to each member's specific needs and concerns. Then it helps you identify key influencers so that you can focus your efforts on the people who have the most sway. It also helps you shorten the sales cycle so that you can address objections early to move the deal forward faster. Remember, the buying committee is not your enemy, it's an opportunity. The more you understand their dynamics, the better you can position yourself as the right choice. Now, let's break down the typical roles you will find in a B2B buying committee. While the exact composition may vary depending on the organization, but these roles are common. So the first role is the initiator. So who they are? They are the person who identifies the need for a solution. They are the ones who kickstart the buying process. What do they care about? Well, they care about finding potential vendors and gathering initial information. How should you engage with them? Well, provide them educational content like blog posts, white papers, and webinars. Second ones are the gatekeepers. So, who are the gatekeepers? They are often an assistant or a manager who controls access to decision makers. What they care about? Well, they care about filtering out irrelevant vendors to save time for the higher ups. Then, how should you engage with them? Well, be clear, concise, and professional in your communication. Then, the next in our list is the decision makers. So, who they are? That's the person with the final authority to approve the purchase. And what do they care about? Well, they care about ROI, strategic alignment, and long term value. How do you engage with them? Well, present a compelling business case backed by data and success stories. Then, next in the list are the influencers, right? Who they are? Well, they are the specialist or department head who provides input to the decision maker. What do the influencers care about? Well, they care about product features, ease of use, and team adoption. You need to behave a little differently with them. So, how should you engage with them? Highlight technical capabilities and demonstrate how your solution meets their needs. Then you have the buyer. Who are they? Well, the procurement or purchasing officer who's responsible for negotiations. You know what they care about. They mainly care about pricing, contract terms, and vendor reliability. How do you engage with them? Well, be transparent about pricing and flexible with terms when possible. Then you have the end user. Who are they? Well, these are the people who will actually use your product on daily basis. What do they care about? Well, they care about usability, training, and support. How do you engage with them? Offer them demos, trials, and training resources. So here's a pro tip. Some individuals may wear multiple hats. For example, a department head might be both an influencer and a decision maker. Now let's understand their influences. Each role in the committee has different priorities and concerns. To effectively engage them, you need to understand what drives their decisions. What are the key influences? First key influence is ROI. So most members want to know if the purchase will deliver measurable value. Then they want to know about the risk. They will evaluate the potential risks of choosing your solution. Then reputation. Will choosing your company make them look good within their organization? Then ease of implementation. Is the solution easy to adapt or will it disrupt operations? So tailoring your message to address these influences shows that you understand their concerns and are really invested in their success. Now let's talk about how to build relationships with the committee. Now that you know who's involved and what influences them, the next step is building relationships. So here's the key. Do not just focus on the decision maker. Everyone in the committee plays a role, and neglecting any one of them can hurt your chances. So, how do you build strong relationships? Well, first, communicate clearly. Use language that resonates with each role. Then listen actively, ask questions, and pay attention to their responses. Then follow up. Regularly check in and provide updates to keep the conversation alive. Let's now talk about the importance of multi-channel outreach. One email or phone call won't cut it when dealing with a buying committee. You need a multi-channel approach to engage all members effectively. So here is a list of some of the effective channels that you can use. First is email, which is great for sharing personalized content and updates. Then you have social media. So connect with influencers and decision makers on platform like LinkedIn. Then you have webinars. So offer live sessions to demonstrate your expertise and answer questions. Then you have face-to-face meetings. So build trust and rapport by meeting in person whenever possible. And this is really important. So let's look at some of the challenges that comes and how to overcome them. So engaging a buying committee is not easy. Here are some common challenges and how to address them. First common challenge that you will face is a differing priorities. What's the challenge? Each member has their own priority and which may conflict. So how do you solve it? So here's the solution. Align your pitch with the organization's overall goals to unify the committee. Then the next challenge is lengthy decision cycles. So what's the challenge? The decision making process can drag on for months and that can be really tiring. So what's the solution? Provide clear timelines and follow-ups to keep things moving. Next is budget constraints. So the challenge is that the buyer may push back on pricing. So what's the solution here? So the only solution is highlight ROI and offer scalable pricing options. So here's the part you've been waiting for. Insights that can transform how you approach buying committee. Well, first suggestion is win over the influencers. Influencers often have a significant say in the final decision. If they are on your side, the decision maker is more likely to agree. Then second is address risk head on. Provide guarantees, free trials, or a phased implementation plan to reduce perceived risks. The next is be a problem solver. Don't just pitch your product. Position yourself as a partner who understands and solves their challenges. Now, the role of timing is also very important. Timing is everything in B2B sales, in fact. Engaging the buying committee too early might waste their time, while engaging too late means you miss critical opportunities to influence the decision. So, how do you go about it? So, here are a few tips for perfect timing. Identify trigger events. So, look for signs that they are ready to buy, like new leadership or recent funding. Then be proactive. Stay on their radar with valuable content and updates, even if they are not ready to buy yet. And there you have it, decoding the B2B buying committee roles and influences. So we've broken down the key roles, explored their influences, and shared strategies to build relationships and overcome challenges. What's the key takeaway? Well, success in B2B is not about selling to one person. It is about engaging and aligning an entire team. Start mapping out the buying committee of your target clients today, and you will see the difference. And guess what? In the next video, we will dive into identifying and segmenting your ideal market. It's a game changer for any B2B marketer. So see you there. Imagine walking into a classroom full of students. You start teaching advanced physics, but half the students are still struggling with basic math. The other half are aspiring artists who could not care less about equations. How effective would your lesson be? Well, this is what happens when your business does not understand the audience. In our last video, we talked about decoding the B2B buying committee, their roles and influences. We learned how to tailor our message to each decision maker. Today, we are diving deeper into the first step of effective marketing, audience analysis, how to identify and segment your ideal market. Stick with me until the end because the last few points we will discuss can completely transform the way you approach your audience. Trust me, you will not want to miss them. But before we dive into the how, let's talk about the why. Why is audience analysis so important? Here is the thing, you can have the best product or service in the world, but if you are talking to the wrong people, it is like shouting into the void. Audience analysis helps you with a lot of things. Audience analysis helps you first focus your efforts. You stop wasting time on people who do not need or want your offer. It helps you craft better messages. It helps you speak directly to your audience needs and desires. It helps you improve ROI. Targeted marketing is obviously, cost effective and generates better results. Now think of audience analysis as the GPS for your marketing journey. Without it, you are just wandering aimlessly. Now, let's start by painting a picture. Who's your ideal customer? Well, I'm not talking about vague ideas like business owners or working professionals. I'm talking about specifics. Ask yourself these questions. First, who can benefit the most? What problems does your product solve? First, which groups of people struggle with this problem? Then second question is, what does their day look like? Are they office workers juggling multiple tasks? Or are they small business owners looking for tools to save time? Then what are their goals? Are they trying to grow their revenue or are they focused on cutting cost or improving efficiency? Let's say you sell project management software. Your ideal market might be small business owners in the tech industry who manage remote teams. See how specific this is. So it's much easier to reach them when you know who exactly they are. Now that you have defined your ideal market, it's time to segment it. Why? Well, because even within your target market, not everyone has the same needs or preferences. So here are some common ways to segment your audience. First is the segmentation based on demographics, which is segmentation based on age, gender, income level, education. For example, a financial advisor might target high income professionals in their 30s and 40s. Then you can segment on the basis of geography, where they live or work. For example, a food delivery app might focus on urban areas with a dense population. Then you can segment on the basis of psychographics. What are their values, attitudes, and lifestyle? Example, a sustainable clothing brand might target eco conscious millennials or Gen Z. Then you can segment on the basis of behavior, how they interact with products or services. For example, a software company might segment users into new customers, and long-term subscribers. By segmenting your audience, you can create tailored campaigns that speak directly to each group's needs and preferences. Now let's make this a bit more fun. So instead of thinking about your audience as data points, let's turn them into real people. Now these are called buyer personas. Now the question arises, how to create a buyer persona? Well, the first step is give them a name. Let's call one of your personas Startup Steve. Then second step is describe their role. Like Steve is a 35-year-old tech entrepreneur. Third step is highlight their pain points. Like Steve struggles with managing his remote team effectively. Then fourth step is identify their goals. So Steve wants to scale his business without increasing overhead cost, right? So every time you create a marketing message, ask yourself, would this resonate with Startup Steve? Now, you don't have to figure out all this out on your own. There are plenty of tools that can help you gather insights about your audience. Here are some popular tools. There are many more, but these are some popular tools. Number one is Google Analytics. It helps you understand who's visiting your website and how they behave. Next is social media insights. So platforms like LinkedIn and Facebook provide detailed audience data. Then you have surveys and feedback. So ask your customers directly about their needs and preferences. Then you have CRM softwares. So tools like HubSpot or Salesforce can track customer interaction and identify patterns. So the more data you have, the clearer your audience picture becomes. All right. So here is where things get really interesting. Static segments like age or location are great, but dynamic segmentation takes things to another level. It's about grouping people based on their behavior in real time. Let's look at some of the examples of dynamic segmentation. First is abandoned cart shoppers. So these are the people who added items to their cart but didn't complete the purchase. The next is active users. These are the customers who regularly use your product. Then you have dormant users. So these are the customers who have not interacted with your brand in a while. Now, dynamic segmentation allows you to send highly targeted messages. For instance, you can offer a discount to abandoned cart shoppers or send a re engagement email to dormant users. See, numbers and data are essential, but do not forget the human side. To truly understand your audience, you need empathy. Here's how. First, listen to their stories. Like what challenges do they face on the daily basis or weekly basis? Then observe their behavior. What do they click on? What do they ignore? Then ask open ended questions like let them tell you what they need in their own words. See, empathy is not just a buzzword, it's a superpower. It helps you connect with your audience on a deeper level. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for, the game changing insights that tie everything together. First insight is it's not about you. So, your audience does not care about your product, they care about what your product can do for them. So, shift your focus from here's what we offer to here's how we solve your problem. Second insight is one size does not fit all. So even if two customers share the same demographic, their needs can differ. Always test and refine your approach. Third is the customer journey matters. So understand where your audience is in their journey. Are they just learning about your product or are they ready to buy? So tailor your message accordingly. The next is feedback is gold. See, your audience is your best teacher. So regularly ask for feedback and use it to improve your strategies. And there you have it, audience analysis and how to identify and segment your ideal market. So we've covered everything from defining your ideal customer to creating dynamic segments and building empathy. The key takeaway? Well, marketing is not about shouting louder. It is about listening better. So take a moment to think about your audience. Are you speaking their language? Are you addressing their needs? If not, now's the time to start. In our next video, we will discuss target market in B2B niche versus broad approaches. See you there. Imagine you are holding a magnifying glass. You can either focus it tightly on a single small area or move it around to cover a wider surface. Both approach have their benefits, but the choice depends on what you are trying to achieve. Now, this is the perfect analogy for target market strategies in B2B marketing. You can go niche or broad, but how do you decide which approach works best for your business? In the last video, we talked about identifying and segmenting your ideal market. Today, we are diving into target market in B2B, niche versus broad approach. We will break it down step by step so that you can see which strategy aligns with your goals. Now, stick around till the end because the last few points will help you unlock strategies that can make or break your marketing efforts. Now, trust me, you will not want to miss them. So, before we dive into the details, let us first understand why your target market strategy is critical. Imagine trying to sell a product to everyone in the world. Sounds overwhelming, right? Well, that's because it is. So, when you try to appeal to everyone, you end up appealing to no one. On the flip side, if you focus too narrowly, you might miss out on opportunities to grow. The key is to strike the right balance. Your target market strategy determines first who you speak to. That's the audience for your marketing campaigns. Then how you speak to them, the tone, message, and channels you use. Then what you offer, the products or services that solve their problems. Now let's explore the two main approaches, niche versus broad. Now a niche approach means focusing on a specific well-defined segment of the market. Now think of it like fishing in a small pond where you know exactly what kind of fish you will catch. Now let's look at the benefits of a niche approach. First benefit is better connection with your audience because you can directly speak to their needs and challenges. For example, a software company targeting only healthcare providers can create messages around improving patient care and efficiency. Second benefit is less competition. Niche markets often they have very fewer competitors. Now, which makes it easier to stand out as an expert or leader in that space. Third benefit is higher conversion rates. So when your product or service aligns perfectly with your audience needs, they are more likely to buy. These were some of the benefits, but then there are challenges too. So let's What are the challenges? Well, challenges of a niche approach. First is limited growth potential. So focusing too narrowly might limit the size of your customer base. Then there is risk of saturation. If you dominate a niche, growth can stall once you've captured the market. On the other hand, a broad approach means targeting a larger, more diverse audience. It's like fishing in the ocean. You might catch many different kinds of fish, but it is harder to predict what you will reel in. Now, again, let's look at both the benefits and challenges. Let's start with the benefits of a broad approach. First benefit is more opportunities. So, a larger audience means more potential customers. For example, a cloud storage company targeting businesses of all sizes and industries. Then the second benefit is scalability. A broad market allows for easier expansion and growth. You can then adapt your messaging to appeal to different segments. Third benefit is flexibility. If one segment does not respond, you can pivot to another. So these were some benefits. Now let's look at the challenges of a broad approach. First is diluted messaging. It is harder to create message that resonates with everyone. Then there is more competition. Broad markets often have more players and therefore making it very tough to stand out. Now this is where it gets interesting. The right approach actually depends on several factors. First factor is your product. Is it designed to solve a specific problem or is it versatile? Then your resources. Do you have the budget and team to manage a broad campaign? Then your goals. Are you looking to dominate a niche or grow quickly across markets? Now let's look at both the sides. First, niche works best when you're launching a new product and you want to establish yourself as an expert. And also your product solves a highly specific problem for a unique audience. It also works well when you have limited resources and you want to maximize ROI. On the other hand, broad works best when first you have a product with wide appeal, like SaaS tools or office supplies, or when you are focused on scaling quickly and reaching a larger audience. And last, you have the resources to manage diverse campaigns. Now let's try to understand these two things with the help of examples. Let's look at first the niche examples. Now think of HubSpot. When it was first launched, it was focused on inbound marketing for small and medium sized businesses. Now by catering to this specific audience, it built a loyal customer base and established itself as a leader in the inbound marketing space. Now when it comes to broad example, think of Google Workspace. Now it targets businesses of all sizes across industries. Its broad appeal works because it offers tools that almost every business needs: email, cloud storage, and collaboration software. Well, what if you don't have to choose? Well, a hybrid approach allows you to start niche and expand later. Let's try to understand how it works. First is start small. So focus on a niche to build your brand and credibility. Then expand gradually. Once you have established yourself, target adjacent market or broader audiences. For example, Amazon started as an online bookstore, which was a niche. Today, it's a global e commerce giant selling everything from electronics to groceries, which is a broad category. Now, let's look at the game changing insights. These are the points we've been waiting for. Now, these insights can help you make the most of your target market strategy. First is First insight is research is everything. So whether you go niche or broad, you need to research your audience thoroughly. Then use tools like surveys, interviews, and analytics to understand their needs. Second insight is test and adapt. Now, do not be afraid to experiment with both approaches. Test different messages, channels, and segments to see what works best. Third insight is stay customer centric. How? So, focus on solving your audience problems, no matter how big or small the market. Focus on solving their problem. Then, fourth insight is be ready to pivot. So, if your niche becomes saturated, consider expanding. Or if your broad approach is not working, narrow your focus. But be ready to pivot. And there you have it, target market in B2B, niche versus broad approach. So we've explored the pros and cons of each strategy, real life examples, and even a hybrid approach. So what's the key takeaway? That there is no one size fits all answer. Your choice depends on your product, goals, and audience. So take a moment to reflect on your business. Are you casting your net too wide or focusing too narrowly? The right target market strategy can transform your marketing efforts and drive real results. In the next video, we will discuss identifying and segmenting your ideal market in even great detail. It's a step by step guide you will not want to miss. So, see you there. Imagine walking into a crowded room and trying to sell a product. You shout, I've got the best solution, but nobody pays attention because your message is not meant for them. Now imagine you walk up to a single person, call them by name, and say, Hey, I know exactly what you're struggling with, and I can help. Well, that's the power of a detailed persona. In the last video, we talked about target market strategies in B2B, niche versus broad approaches. Today, we will go even deeper and learn how to craft detailed personas for precision targeting. Now stick around till the end because the last few points will completely transform the way you create and use personas. Trust me, you will not want to miss them. So before we dive into how to create personas, let's talk about why they matter. Well, a persona is like a blueprint. It's a detailed profile of your ideal customer based on research and data. So without a persona, you are just guessing. But with one, you can number one, target with precision. You can speak directly to your audience needs and pain points. Then you can save time and money by focusing on the right people instead of chasing everyone. Then you can create better content by developing messages that resonate and drive action. Now think of personas as your secret weapon. They help you understand who you are, who you are talking to, so that you can craft the perfect message. So here's the thing, not all personas are created equal. So a good persona is number one, it's specific. It avoids vague descriptions like business owners. Instead, say mid level managers in the tech industry. Second, it's based on data. So use research, surveys, and analytics to inform your persona. Third, it's actionable. Your persona should guide your decisions from messaging to product development. Now let's get into the fun part, crafting your personas. So before you start crafting or creating your personas, you need data, lots of it. And this is where you put on your detective hat. So where do you find data? Well, first place where you can find data is in customer interviews. So you talk to your existing customers, ask them about their challenges, goals, and decision making processes. Second place where you can find data is in surveys. So use tools like Google Forms or Typeform to collect insights. Ask about their demographics, preferences, and behavior. Third place where you can find data is in analytics. So check your website traffic with Google Analytics. Look at social media insights for audience demographics. Fourth place where you can find data is from sales team input. Because your sales team talks to customers every day, so ask them about common questions, objections, and pain points. So here's a pro tip for you. So the more diverse your data sources, the richer your persona will be. Now that you have data, it's time to build the foundation of your persona. So how do you build the foundation? You start with the basics. So the first thing is name. So give your persona a name to make them feel real. For example, tech savvy Tina. It's a name given. Then demographics. Look at age, gender, location, income, education level. Then define job role. What do they do for a living? What's their industry? So here's an example of a persona. Name tech savvy Tina. Age 32. Location San Francisco. Job role marketing manager at a SaaS company. So giving your persona a name and a backstory makes them feel more relatable. Now, this is the heart of your persona. What keeps them up at night? What challenges are they facing? So you need to ask some questions. These are some of the questions to answer. First question is, what problems do they have? For example, Tina struggles with finding tools that integrate seamlessly with her current tech stack. Second question is, what goals are they trying to achieve? Let's again try to understand this with the help of an example. Say, Tina wants to streamline her team's workflow and boost productivity. Then, what are their biggest frustrations? Say, for example, Tina gets frustrated with tools that have a steep learning curve. Now, understanding pain points helps you position your product as a perfect solution. Now, next, think about how your persona behaves. Where do they spend their time? And more importantly, how do they make decisions? So, a few key behaviors to identify are: number one is preferred communication channels. Do they respond better to emails, social media, or phone calls? Then, buying process. Are they impulsive buyers or do they need detailed research before making a decision? Then, content consumption. Do they prefer blogs, videos, or webinars? This is an example for Tina. So preferred channel is LinkedIn. Buying processes needs to compare at least 3 vendors before choosing. Content consumption is loves reading case studies and watching product demos. See, behavior insights help you decide where and how to engage your persona. And here's where we take your persona to the next level. Now think about their emotions and motivations. Let's look at some of the emotional questions to answer. First question that you can ask is what makes them happy? For example, Tina feels accomplished when her team hits their KPI. Second question is what are they afraid of? For example, Tina fears wasting time and money on the wrong tools. Next question that can be asked is what drives their decisions? For example, Tina values efficiency and long-term ROI. So adding emotional depths makes your persona feel human, not just a list of traits. Now that you have all the pieces, it's time to put them together. Your persona profile should be easy to read and visually appealing. Again, that was theory. Let's understand this with the help of an example. Tech savvy Tina. Now the name is Tech savvy Tina. Age is 32. Job role is marketing manager at a SaaS company. Pain point is struggles with tool integration and team productivity. Goals is streamline workflows and achieve KPIs. Preferred channels are LinkedIn and email. Content preferences are case studies and product demos. Emotional motivations are values efficiency and fears wasting resources. You can even add a photo or illustration to make Tina come to life. All right, here are the insights you have been waiting for. These insights will help you get the most out of your personas. First insight is personas are not set in stone. Your audience evolves and so should your personas. Then update your personas regularly based on new data. Second insight is your persona is not enough. See, most businesses need multiple personas for different audience segments. For example, you might create one for decision makers and another for end users. Now, third insight is test and validate. So use your personas in real campaigns. Then measure the results and tweak your personas if needed. Fourth insight is use personas across teams. So share your personas with sales, customer service, and product teams. Now, consistency across departments also creates a seamless customer experience. And there you have it, crafting detailed personas for precision targeting. We walked you through every step, from gathering data to emotional depth. The key takeaway? Well, personas are not just a marketing tool. They are the foundation for understanding your audience and building meaningful connections. So take a moment to reflect on your current personas. Are they specific? Are they actionable? If not, now is the time to refine them. In the next video, we will discuss creating tailored campaigns that resonate with each persona. Now it's a must watch if you want to turn insights into action. See you there. Imagine this. You are trying to have a conversation, but the person you are talking to is in another room and you're shouting through a closed door. Well, sounds frustrating, right? So this is what happens when businesses use the wrong engagement channels. They are shouting in the wrong spaces and their audience is just not hearing them. In the last video, we discussed crafting detailed personas for precision targeting. We learned how to deeply understand your audience and their needs. Today, we are going one step further and exploring the top engagement channels for B2B audiences. Stick with me until the end because the last few channels we will discuss are absolute game changers. Trust me, you will not want to miss them. So before diving into the specifics, let's talk about why choosing the right channels is so important. So imagine you are hosting a party and no one shows up because you forgot to send invitations. Or worse, you send them to the wrong address. In B2B, your engagement channels are those invitations. They are how you connect with your audience, share your message, and build relationships. The right channels help you in multiple ways. Some of the ways are: first, they help you reach decision makers because they speak directly to those who matter most. They help you build trust because it shows up consistently in places where audience values. And they help you drive results, increase leads, conversions, and long term partnerships. Now, choosing the wrong channels, however, can waste time, money, and opportunities. If B2B had a crown, LinkedIn would wear it. This platform is tailor made for professional networking, making it one of the best engagement channels for B2B. So, why LinkedIn works? Well, first, because it has professional audience. LinkedIn users are there to talk business, and this is where decision makers hang out. Second, it has content variety. You can share blog posts, industry news, videos, case studies, and even newsletter. Then it helps you run targeted ads. You can use LinkedIn's precise targeting to reach specific job titles, industries, and company sizes. So, how do you maximize LinkedIn? First is join and participate in relevant groups. Then publish thought leadership articles to showcase expertise. Then use InMail to send personalized messages to prospects. See, LinkedIn is not just a social media platform, it is your B2B stage. So, email may not be flashy, but it is incredibly effective for B2B engagement. Why? Because it is direct, personal, and measurable. Now, again, why email works? First is high ROI. Email marketing generates an average ROI of $42 for every $1 spent. Yes, $42. Then personalization. You can tailor messages to different personas and stages of the buyer journey. Then consistency. You can keep your brand top of mind with regular updates. So how do you maximize email? Well, first is segment your audience for targeted campaigns. Second, use automation tools for drip campaigns. Then use clear call to actions in every email. So here's a pro tip for you. Do not bombard your audience. Value driven content always wins. Now picture this. You are hosting a room full of potential clients, sharing valuable insights and answering their questions live. Well, that's the power of webinars. So why webinar works? Well, first is educational value. They position you as a thought leader in your industry. Second, they are interactive. It helps you have live Q&A session for real-time engagement. Then for lead generation, attendees are often high qualified leads. So how do you maximize webinars? Well, choose topics that solve your audience biggest problems. Then promote your webinar across all channels. Then follow up with attendees afterwards to nurture leads. See, webinars are like virtual handshakes. They build trust and relationships. Now think about it. What's the first thing you do when you have a question? You Google it, right? And your audience does the same. So, which is why search engines are such a powerful engagement channel. Now, there are a few reasons why search engines work. First is high intent. So, people searching for solutions are already interested. Second is evergreen content. Well optimized content continues to drive traffic long after it is published. Then, authority building. Ranking high on search engines boosts credibility. Then, how do you maximize search engines? Well, first and foremost, invest in SEO to improve your website's ranking. Then, second, use Google Ads to target high intent keywords. Then, third, create valuable content that answers common questions. So, here's a pro tip for you: think beyond Google, consider Bing and industry specific search engines. Now comes content marketing. See, your audience does not just want a product, they want solutions, insights, and stories. And content marketing is how you deliver that. So, why content marketing works? Well, first, it builds trust. So, sharing knowledge establishes you as an authority. Then, it engages multiple personas. Blogs, videos, and infographics cater to different preferences. Then, it drives traffic. So, valuable content brings people to your website. So, how to maximize content marketing? Well, first, create a content calendar for consistent publishing. Then, repurpose content into different formats. For example, blog to infographic and vice versa. Then, use analytics to measure what resonates and refine your strategy. Always remember, good content does not sell, it educates and inspires. Then we have events. See, even in a digital world, nothing beats the impact of face to face interactions. Events provide a unique opportunity to connect with your audience on a personal level. So, why events work? Well, first, because it helps you build relationships. In person interactions create long lasting connections. Then, second, it showcases your brand. Events give you a platform to shine. Then, third is immediate feedback. So, you get real time reactions to your product or pitch. So, how do you maximize events? Well, attend industry specific conferences and expos. Then, host your own events to position yourself as a leader. Then, use follow ups to turn event attendees into leads. So, here is a pro tip for you: if in person is not possible, consider virtual events as an alternative. While LinkedIn is the king, other social media platforms like Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook can also play a role in B2B engagement. Now, why social media works? It's a valid question. Well, social media works because it has broader reach. Platforms like YouTube cater to visual learners, while Twitter is great for quick updates. Second, it humanizes your brand. So, social media adds a personal touch to your interactions. Then, it helps you build community. It helps you create spaces where your audience can connect. Then, how do you maximize social media? Well, first and foremost, post consistently to stay relevant. Then, use hashtags to increase visibility. And then, engage in conversations, not just broadcasting. So, here's a pro tip for you: focus on platforms where your audience spends their time. Now, here is a channel not everyone talks about: online communities. Now, these can be forums, LinkedIn groups, or industry specific platforms where professionals gather to share knowledge. Now comes the question: why online communities work? Well, first, because they have niche audience. Communities are highly targeted. Then you have trust factor. They are built on peer recommendations and shared experiences. Then they have low cost. Participation is often free or low cost. So, how do you maximize online communities? First, be active. Do not just promote, contribute valuable insights. Then identify key communities where your audience spends time. Then use community feedback to refine your offerings. So, communities are like digital water coolers. Engage meaningfully and you will stand out. So, all right, here's the part you've been waiting for. So, these are the channels that often go overlooked but can make a huge impact. First is podcasts. So, launch your own or guest star on others. This is especially great for thought leadership. Second is account based marketing, ABM platforms. So, tools like demand base help you target specific accounts with precision. Then you have video platforms. YouTube and Vimeo are excellent for product demos and testimonials. Now, these channels are not just trendy, they are powerful tools for deep engagement. And there you have it, top engagement channels for B2B audience. So, we've explored LinkedIn, email, webinars, search engines, and even hidden gems like online communities. The key takeaway: no single channel is a magic bullet. The best strategy combines multiple channels tailored to your audience. So take a moment to review your current engagement strategy. Are you focusing on the right channels? If not, now is the time to pivot. In our next video, we will discuss crafting multi-channel strategies that deliver results. It's a must watch if you are serious about maximizing your B2B impact. See you there. Imagine trying to find a needle in a haystack. You know it's there, but the task feels overwhelming. Now imagine having a magnet that pulls the needle straight to you. Now that's what it feels like when you master the art of pinpointing and attracting the right business buyers. Instead of chasing everyone, you draw in the ones who matter most. In the last video, we talked about top engagement channels for B2B audiences. We explored where your ideal buyers hang out and how to connect with them. Today, we are taking it a step further. We are diving into proven techniques to pinpoint and attract the right business buyers. Stick with me until the end because the last few techniques we will discuss can truly transform your B2B marketing strategy. Trust me, you will not want to miss them. Now, so let's start with the basics. Why does it matter who you target? Well, can't you just reach out to as many people as possible and hope for the best? Well, here is the truth. Casting a wide net might seem like a good idea, but in B2B, it's a recipe for wasted time and money. Your product or service is not for everyone. The sooner you identify your ideal buyers, the sooner you can focus your efforts where it will have the most impact. So when you pinpoint the right buyers, you first save resources because you're no more wasting time on unqualified leads. Then you increase conversions because your message resonates because it's tailored to the right audience. And then you build stronger relationships because you are speaking directly to someone's needs, which builds trust and credibility. Now let's explore the techniques that will help you do just that. So first thing first, know your ideal customers. You cannot attract the right buyers if you do not know who they are. And this is where your ideal customer profile comes into play. So how to build an ideal customer profile? This is how it is. First step is Analyze existing customers. Look at your top performing clients. Then look at what industries they are in and what problems did you solve for them. So that was the first step. Second step is identify common traits. Look at the job titles, company size, budget, location, etc. Then understand their challenges. What pain points do they have? And what keeps them up at night? Now let's try to understand this with the help of an example. Let's say you sell project management software. Now your ideal customer profile might be mid-sized tech companies with remote teams, where managers struggle to keep everyone aligned. Right? So here's a pro tip for you. The more specific your ideal customer profile, the easier it is to find and attract the right buyers. Data is your best friend when it comes to targeting. Instead of guessing, let the numbers show you where to focus. So let's look at some of the key data sources that can be really important for you. So first data source is your website analytics. Now tools like Google Analytics tell you who's visiting your site, how they got there, and what they are interested in. And this data can be really important for you. Second data source is CRM systems. Now platforms like HubSpot or Salesforce track customer interactions and highlight patterns. Therefore, this data source is also important for you. And third data source is social media insights. LinkedIn and Facebook provide demographic and engagement data about your followers. So this is your third data source. Now let's look at some of the actionable steps that you need to take. First one is identify high performing pages or campaigns. Then double down on strategies that attract qualified leads. And here's a pro tip for you. Data does not just tell you who your buyers are, it tells you how to reach them. Then account based marketing, which is also known as ABM, is like fishing with a spear instead of a net. You focus on specific accounts which are a perfect fit for your product. Then the question arises, how does ABM works? So this is how it works. So identify target accounts. Use your ideal customer profile to create a list of dream clients and then personalize your approach. How do you do this? By tailoring your messages to each account's needs and goals. Then align sales and marketing because both teams work together to engage and close deals. So let's try to understand this with the help of an example. If you are targeting a Fortune 500 company, your strategy might include personalized LinkedIn messages, a custom landing page, and a tailored proposal. And then here's a pro tip. ABM is not about volume. It's about precision. ABM stands for account based marketing. Now see, your buyers are not looking for a product. They are looking for a solution to their problems. So the better you understand those problems, the easier it is to attract the right buyers. Then how do you position yourself as a problem solver? Number one is listen to feedback. That's the first step. Listen to feedback. Talk to your current customers and ask about their biggest challenges. Then second step is create solution oriented content such as blogs, videos, and case studies that show you how you have solved similar problems. Then third is speak their language. Now use terms and phrases your audience is familiar with. Let's understand this with the help of an example. So instead of saying we offer CRM software, say we help sales teams close deals 30% faster. So here's a pro tip. See, buyers are drawn to companies that understand their pain points better than they do. Now, see, sometimes buyers need a little nudge. So, retargeting ads help you stay top of mind for prospects who have already shown interest. But before that, let's understand how this retargeting works. First is track website visitors. So, you can use cookies to identify people who have visited your site. Then, show targeted ads. So, display ads on platforms like LinkedIn, Google, or Facebook. And then encourage action. So offer a free trial, demo, or download to re-engage them. Let's understand this with the help of an example. Say a prospect visits your pricing page but does not convert. Now later they see an ad offering a 10%, 20% discount on their first month. So this was the example of an retargeting ad. So here's a pro tip. Retargeting works best when combined with compelling call to actions, CTAs. Now, sometimes reaching the right buyers means going where they already are. Now, this could be online communities, industry forums, or niche platforms. And this is how you identify the right platforms. First step is ask your customers where do they go for industry news or advice. Then, second is research industry leaders. Look at where your competitors are active. Then test and measure. How? Try different platforms and see what works best. For example, let's try to understand this with the help of an example. If your audience consists of IT professionals, so platforms like Spiceworks or Reddit's tech forums might be ideal. So here's a tip. Authentic engagement is key. Do not just promote, participate. Now, as you know, we are all drawn to things that feel tailor-made for us. Personalization makes your buyers feel seen and valued. And here are a few steps how you personalize things. First is segment your audience. So group buyers by industry, role, or stage in the buyer journey. Then customize your messaging. Use their name, company, and specific pain points. Then offer tailored solutions. Highlight the features or benefits most relevant to them. For example, instead of sending a generic email, say, "Hi Sarah, as the head of marketing at XYZ Corp, I imagine streamlining your team's workflow is a top priority, and here is how we can help you." So, this was an example. And here is a tip. Personalization is not just a nice touch, it's a necessity. Now, B2B marketing is not just about closing deals, it is about building relationships that lead to long term partnerships. That's But then how do you build stronger relationships? So, the first step is be genuine, focus on helping and not just selling. Then stay connected, regularly check in with prospects even if they are not ready to buy. Then deliver value, share insights, resources, or advice tailored to their needs. And like always, here's a tip. Buyers are more likely to choose companies they trust. And there you have it. Proven techniques to pinpoint and attract the right business buyers. From crafting your ideal customer persona to leveraging ABM, personalization, and retargeting, these techniques are designed to help you focus your efforts and attract the buyers who truly matter. Remember, it's not about choosing everyone, it's not about chasing everyone, it's about finding the right fit and building meaningful connections. In our next video, we will explore lead generation tactics for B2B marketeers. It's a must watch if you are ready to turn interest into actionable leads. See you there.